I met Terry over 50 years ago when I was a freshman in high school. Terry was probably 13 years old and he was working in his dad's grocery store, tavern, and he was selling ice cream cones and candy bars and whatever else anybody else would buy. Even then he was using words like tremendous and unbelievable and this is a great buy.
Terry's from my hometown and he's 2 years behind me in terms of class and age. So I've known Terry ever since he was in grade school and through high school.
I met Terry about 30 years ago when he first came to work for Honkamp Krueger. He's a great guy to work with. He's so genuine. He answers every single email that I send him with a thank you.
You know, I think the first time I met Terry was in the middle of the 1980s before I came to work at Honkamp Krueger at some Chamber of Commerce event while he was working the crowd. He was telling me all about Honkamp Krueger and I thought it was a lie. It was all about 10 years later when I went to work at the firm that I found out it was all true, but I think that was the first time I met Terry.
Terry and I started 2 weeks apart. Terry was hired 2 weeks before I was. Grew up in Holy Cross, worked at John Deere, and he actually was working for Ron Helly at Helly Klosterman before he came to work with Honkamp Krueger.
First time I met Terry was right after I started with Honkamp. He was working as the sales director. Terry is a very personal person, and I remember him coming up and introducing himself to me right off the bat. And you know, from there, it's just someone that if you ever have a question or need anything in the firm, Terry is someone that's always there for you and can help you out.
I met Terry probably 25 years ago, and my first impressions are the same as they are today. He's the warmest, nicest man you're ever going to meet. I can't think of anyone who says a bad word about Terry Maiers.
My first impressions of Terry were that he was just a genuine nice guy, going to be real easy to work with, real personable, and really easy to develop a relationship with at the office.
The first time I met Terry was when I interviewed for my first job at Honkamp Krueger. He always took every opportunity he could to teach somebody.
He's just a really friendly guy, and he likes to get his work done, but he also likes to have a good time doing it.
Terry was great to work with. You know, he was always smiling. He's always interested in what's going on.
Terry's one of those guys that after just a few seconds of knowing him, you feel like you know him forever.
Terry and I met on a New Year's Eve back in 1975. We were at a New Year's Eve party and it was 1:45 and he comes up to me and he says, "Oh, I guess I better get to know you. It's close to midnight." So we got to know each other. Then we partied throughout the night. We started dating probably 3 weeks later. And I think our first date we went to see Jaws.
He was a very fun dad. He's like the happiest person you have ever met.
Was a fun person to be around. Always committed to his family. We went on a lot of family vacations, went to the Wisconsin Dells many times.
He was an extremely nice father. He was super supportive. He was very involved.
It's almost annoying. He's such a nice guy.
When I was little, he worked at John Deere full-time, and then he went to college full-time to get his accounting degree.
And at that time, the kids were small, and so it was a lot of hard work coming home in the evenings as he was still working, coming home in the evenings and studying after the kids had gone to bed. But he accomplished that goal, and then as I say, in 1984, he started working with Honkamp as an accountant.
First of all, you had to find Terry. Terry has moved more offices than any other person in the firm. In the last 30 years, Terry has worked conservatively in about 20 offices, maybe more. And he's also worked in branch offices.
Terry was a big influence on my career at Honkamp Krueger. When Arnie first hired me, he basically said, Terry, work with Dave to see if we can't get some business going in Dyersville, which is what their objective was. So for a year, basically, Terry and I worked together, and it was very, very influential in my getting going.
One of Terry's most important achievements was when he passed the CPA exam. That was many years ago, and coming to HK, accounting was a new profession for Terry. So when he finally received his CPA certificate, that was a huge accomplishment.
I think professionally he's most proud of the fact that he started his career a little bit later than most, and he adapted and became a very good CPA and has been a tremendous asset to his clients.
I think, his biggest personal achievement would just be helping take the company from where it was when he was hired back in 1984 to where it is today.
Definitely, I think making partner, I remember as a kid that was a huge deal for us. He worked so hard just to get that accounting degree and get his job at Honkamp. It was very exciting for us as a family, and it was well deserved.
I know he really is very proud of being a founding member of the Maria House, and now to see how far it's come along and to flourish, and knowing that it's helped so many people, and he still helps them out when needed. So I think that was really one of his proud moments.
The National Guards was a big thing for him. I mean, he did that for, I think, about 20 years.
I think that developed him into being a leader, and he's made lifelong acquaintances through the National Guard, and I know he's very, very proud of the work he did.
Terry's personal achievements are very easy. His family and his grandchildren, his children. He has a wonderful family, wonderful wife. He spends a lot of his time with family, and that says a lot about him.
My mom worked night shifts like pretty much our entire childhood, so it was like my dad would work, pick us up from school, and he would make dinner, which is usually like chili or frozen chicken patties.
Grilled cheese and chili and hamburgers.
Chicken patties at night, or hamburgers, or beef stroganoff was his thing.
A long time ago, when we were a lot smaller company, we used to go Christmas caroling, and we used to go to the partners' houses. When we came to Terry's house, it took him a while to come to the door, but as soon as he came to the door, we started singing. And here he was standing there in his robe, and he'd been in the hot tub with his wife. And so when he said, "Do you want to come in?" and we're like, "Yeah." He's like, "Okay, just a minute." Well, no, he comes back to the door with a bottle of wine. He shoves it out the door, and he didn't let us in.
My fondest memory of Terry, and most surprising memory, was I think it was his daughter Megan's wedding reception, when Terry took the mic and sang to the entire crowd. I think it was Tiny Bubbles. You'll have to correct me if it wasn't, but I remember just about falling off my chair. I was laughing so hard.
Come visit me. Happy retirement. Love you, Jeepa.
Well, Terry, as you fade into the sunset, and I know it's going to be a gradual fading and I think a very enjoyable one, just go with the same positive attitude you've had over the last 25 years, or actually the last 50 years that I've known you, and you and your Rayanne and all the kids and grandkids, it's a great ride, so enjoy the ride.
The thing that I just want to make sure that he knows is how much of an influence he did have on me, and thank you. Thank you for giving me an opportunity to have a job at Honkamp Krueger. He believed in me from the first day that I interviewed, and that belief never stopped. He's believed in me every step of the way. He's encouraged me every step of the way. And I just feel really privileged to have worked with him and gained his friendship.
I just want to thank you, Terry, for everything that you've done for me, for helping me turn this into a career and leading me down the right path, and kind of taking me under your wings and being a mentor for me.
Well, we always kind of had this thing that I was going to retire before he was. Well, I'm not retiring. He's retiring first, so he kind of beat me there. But good luck. Enjoy your retirement. Hope you have a long retirement, and don't forget to come visit.
I think Terry will really enjoy retirement. He's got a lot of grandkids that really keep him busy, and I know he and Rayanne both enjoy all of the grandkids, and they'll enjoy their time traveling with other family members as well, and I wish him the best, and I hope he enjoys retirement.
Well, Terry, as you retire, you can just think of this as another new beginning. You've had many of those in your life. When you got married and you went back to school and you had children and grandchildren, to just take this time to sit back, relax, but then also use your talents, because you're such a talented guy and you have such compassion for the community.
I'm sure he's done a good job with his wife in preparing financially for retirement. I'm sure he knows how to party, because I'll confirm that from past experience. I expect he'll have a very enjoyable retirement, and I just wish you the best. because you deserve it.
Terry, it's been a lot of fun these last 30 years. We basically started together, seen a lot of growth at Honkamp Krueger Company, and would wish you and Rayanne, the best of luck in your retirement, and I hope you get to do a lot of the things you enjoy doing.
Terry, I've loved you since the day I've met you. You've been a great partner, and we're going to miss you a lot, and I hope we see you around, and I hope you stick around for a few years part-time.
I thank Terry for what's coming up on 20 years that I've worked with him, and in the few years that I knew him before then. It's been a real treat to have known him, and I can't hardly believe that we won't see much of him here. I hope that he stops by.
Congratulations. It's been a long road. It's impressive what you've done along the way. We're proud of you. You've raised 3 great kids. You've instilled great characteristics and talents in us, and we hope to do that along the way as well.
I just want to tell my dad I love him a lot. I think that he raised us to be amazing people. I think he showed us, he was our example. Like, he worked extremely hard. We knew life wasn't super easy, but you just have to look on the brighter side of things and be optimistic and be a good person, and your life will be easy for you.
I am very, very proud of you, Dad. You have put in a lot of work, and you've raised some awesome children. And we were so lucky to have you as a dad. Now that I have kids, I realize how lucky I was to have you.
I would like to tell him how much I do love him and appreciate everything he's done for myself and for my family, and now for the friends that we know and love. He's just been a great, great guy. Appreciate him a lot.